Kia ora, everybody. My name's Colin Crampton and I'm the current Chief Executive of Wellington Water. I'm also the current President of Engineering New Zealand. My job today is to talk to you a little bit about moving from study life to engineering life. So let's get started. In terms of career highlights for me, there are two. The first is working on the rebuild of Christchurch following the 2011 earthquakes. At the time, I was working for the New Zealand Transport Agency, looking after the state highway network, but having a reasonably significant background in procurement. And the government and the city wanted to speed up the delivery of the horizontal infrastructure rebuild, and I worked with the Christchurch City Council to put in place what we now know as the SKIRT project. It was a tremendously fun thing to do in the shadow of the earthquakes when there weren't too many rules. And I think we built up a really good model that not only delivered the results fast, but made sure that we delivered the right outcomes for the community. The second highlight is for me to learn that I really enjoyed general management and people management, probably ahead of technical challenges. So when you get to that branch in your experience where you either go down technical leadership or people leadership paths, I found I wanted to be a people leader. I really enjoy managing organisations. I like the organisational design and I like the way we get things done through people. And I continue to enjoy that to the day. If I was back as a graduate and I wanted to give you some advice, there'd be three key things for me. The first one would be to recognise that people are always part of any technical problem. So we're in engineering because we deliver services to our people, or we save the environment, or we look after our natural resources. And understanding that before you get into the technical problem will help ensure that you deliver the best result for New Zealanders. The second one is that I wish I'd carried on with my English studies more than I did, particularly around reading, writing, and doing oral presentations. I didn't really like that when I was a younger person, and now in my job, for the last 20 years, just been really, really important to be able to have those skills. So keeping up with your reading, writing well, and enjoying talking to people and presenting to people is all part of the job. So make sure you make the most of those opportunities when you're there. And when I went through university, I don't think there was anything we used to call project management. And I just thought, when I finally got out into the big wide world and found that all of these jobs were involved needed some form of management, got introduced to project management and realised how essential it is for delivering good results. So make sure you understand and get some experiences around project management, because it's always part of what you do when you're working in an engineering business. In terms of my biggest lesson, that's easy. That was in Whangamata in the late 1980s when we were using concrete from an unregistered concrete plant, and it was my job to design the concrete mix and set the water content for that concrete mix. And we had this very archaic system in the old days of measuring the water content in the gravels before we worked out how much water to add. I calculated that as per the manual. When I told the operator we needed this amount of water, he just couldn't believe it. He just said, "You've got to be joking, mate." And so I said, well, that's what we've got to do. So we made the concrete using that amount of water. And when the concrete arrived at the site, it wouldn't come out of the concrete truck because it didn't have enough water in it. So the big lesson for me is theory is great, but listen to those who are experienced and practice it every day. Why volunteer in the world? Well, I just see volunteerism as just part of the makeup of every New Zealander. You need to volunteer to make the world go round. It's really good for you. It's good to work with people who are who are trying to do the same thing and understand where they're coming from. And without it, a lot of the great things we come to aspire to just wouldn't happen. So I'm currently the president of Engineering New Zealand. I also coach a basketball team. Both are volunteer, and I enjoy every moment of it. And then vastly, in terms of what am I doing as a president at the moment? Well, tough times really in the COVID environment where we've all been put to the pump by the pandemic. So I see my job mostly at the moment as supporting Engineering New Zealand and its chief executive and keeping the board up to date on everything that's going on. So looking forward to the post-COVID-19 situation where we can achieve a lot more. So thanks for listening. Take it easy.